Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. This is the Ready, Set, Go preview show. This is the show that we do every single week on Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. And during this show, we attempt to do some awesome stuff. We spend some time talking about some news and current events. We talk about things that may be top of mind for you and certainly are top of mind for me. We give away a cool slab or two. And then I also give you a preview of some of the content that is going to be released from the channel over the course of this week. And I'll also be showing you a book that I'm going to be giving away as part of Go Collect sponsorship of this show. To give away we do every single week. I'm actually going to show you that. And I will tell you that I have a jam-packed agenda. There's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about. There's some things that I've actually moved off of the list because I got a DM from Mikey Sutton. Mikey Sutton reached out to me and started to share some information with me. And we had to make some adjustments. We had to make some adjustments to the agenda to bring in some new stuff from him. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff. There's a healthy amount of stuff that is on the index card that I'm staring at. If you guys are like, what is he looking at? It is the index card that I use to overview the stuff that we're going to talk about. And I will outline that stuff for you in just a moment after I say hello to some comic book soldiers. And I will tell you, if you stay tuned until the very end of this video, I'm actually going to show you some comics that I am taking to CGC. I am going to hand deliver some comics finally to CGC. And yeah, you don't want to miss that. I will also say, if you are watching me right now on a big screen or a small screen, if you tag me on the Instagram machine, I will post that up. And what I'm going to randomly do to one person, at least one person that actually does that, I am going to actually send you out a pack of Kirby cards. I think I have 2 or 3 packs of Kirby cards left. And at least one person tonight is going to be the recipient of a pack of those cards. If you post up a photo on the Instagram machine, tag me. And if you're in the US, got to be in the US in order for me to do that. Otherwise, the shipping charges outweigh the benefit of the cards, right? So stay tuned on the Instagram machine, Regie Collects, if you are not following me there. Let me say hello to some comic book soldiers to see who, oh man, I missed a lot. There was a lot here. I think somebody named Peter is here from Japan. Shout out to you, Peter. If I did indeed read that correctly, welcome, welcome. My man, Randy Resnick is in here. Jeff P is in the house. Brandon is here. Ariel's here. Chuck, how you doing? Climbing Comics, it is always good to see you. Mister's in the house. Al's here. Wes is here. I am also here. The Blue Wrench is in the house. I think someone called her the mother of Gibbons. Tina, it is always good to see you. Ariel's here. My man, Harvey Abel, is in the house, as is the super honorable nephew. Stand up. Jason is also in here. My man, Jerry, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you, my friend. As always, my good buddy right here, Matt Woods, is in the house. It's good to see you. Quest Dog is here. ICT Vinny. My Canadian brother, Rush Diehard, is also in the house. I definitely appreciate you guys hanging out with me this evening. And like I said, there is a jam-packed agenda, and I'm actually going to run down that agenda for you guys right now. Shout out to well, let me get to that later. All right. So there are a couple of things that we're going to talk about. As I alluded to, there was a little bit of a jam-packed agenda, and I had to make some last-minute adjustments to be able to get everything in and still be able to wrap this live stream up in a timely fashion so as to get myself into bed, because I have to be on a flight early tomorrow. So as mentioned, Mikey Sutton reached out to me. He provided me with a little bit of insight into some news that he broke earlier today. So we're going to spend some time talking about that. I want to get you all's impression of this news. Keanu Reeves is also in the news. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to share with you my impressions of the giant size Magneto that dropped this last week. I was very excited about this. And the question is, does that excitement remain? And we're going to talk about Batman's new buddy And then, as I mentioned, I'm going to show you guys, if there is time, I'm going to show you some books that I'm actually taking to CGC. If this live stream runs a little too long, I may actually punt that and do a quick Twitch live stream right after this one and just kind of keep it moving, kind of break the content up just a little bit. So with that said, Mikey Sutton reached out to me a short while ago. I think it was maybe a couple of hours ago now, and he broke some news earlier today, and I'm very curious as to what you guys will think about this, right? And my question will be, good news or bad news? Like, that's what I'm going to, good. Is it good or is it bad? Okay. That's what I'll be looking for in the chat, because I'm going to be very interested to see what you guys think about this. So here is the thing. Mikey actually broke some news, and it was on another channel. And I watched the video. I thought it was a well done video. But Mikey broke some news that Owen Wilson is actually going to be in the MCU, right? And, well, I'm getting to what Mikey actually broke, but Owen Wilson is going to be in the MCU, and we now know exactly which character he is going to be playing. And the question is this good news or bad news? He is going to be Kang the Conqueror. Kang the Conqueror is what Owen Wilson will be playing in the MCU, and I believe that he is actually going to be appearing in the Loki show on the Disney Plus streaming service. And reportedly, Mikey has been able to get some photographic evidence to substantiate the fact that Owen is indeed Kang the Conqueror. And if you guys remember, Kang the Conqueror about 6 months ago was all the rage. Everybody was out there buying up Avengers 8. I didn't. I'll just be honest. I didn't do it. But if everybody was buying up these early appearances of Kang the Conqueror, and I remember, no, it's maybe a little bit longer than I remember being like, what is all this excitement about Kang the Conqueror? And then it died down. It died down. But now, based upon some of the news that is coming out right now, there may be some extra interest in this stuff. So a couple of people are saying, yeah, they saw it. I always swoon. Connie's like, Keanu. Oh, Connie, it's good to see you, my friend. Let me see. Mikey Sutton, you have the hookup. Let me see. Might be okay. No way. Very bad indeed, says Reginald. Stand up, brother. I see you, brother. I thought Kang was a serious dude. Owen Wilson says ITC Vinny. I cannot see that guy as Kang. I just can't. Ain't Owen Wilson from... I'm gonna be honest. I struggle with this one, because Owen Wilson to me is always Owen Wilson. In every single movie in which Owen Wilson appears, he is himself. He is never anybody else. He is one of those people that I always see as himself. Like, I feel the same way about like Rosario Dawson. I think Rosario Dawson is awesome, but in everything she plays, she is always Rosario Dawson to me. And there are some people like Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington appears in different roles, and you forget that is actually Denzel. Same thing with Will Smith. Will Smith has that ability. There are many actors out there that have this ability to become something other than what they are. Owen Wilson is not that guy. He is not that guy. But as I was watching, because Mikey reached out to me, he told me the news, he sent me a link. I went and watched the video that this other YouTuber had actually created. And in that video, the YouTuber kind of highlighted the fact that people on scene with Owen basically indicated that he never cracked a smile during the entire filming of what he was doing. Like, he was known to be a silly guy, but he took the role of Kang the Conqueror, I guess, very seriously, because to the point of many that have already been making it right here in the chat, Owen is a very, very serious guy. I would agree. Jeff Goldblum, I think he's always the same. Maybe that's what you're saying. I always see ever since he was no longer the Fly, Every character is the same, in my opinion. Every Jurassic Park appearance, he's always the chaos. Chaos. He is always the same. I love Owen Wilson, but I can't imagine his voice for Kang, says Brett Hess Art. Denzel is indeed the man. He is indeed the man. I'm scrolling through Kang the Wedding Crasher. I actually that hotel where they actually where Wedding Crashers was filmed, I was actually at that hotel. I owned a house at this place, and it was actually filmed in St. Michael's. It was filmed in St. Michael's, Maryland. I actually owned a house in St. Michael's, Maryland. I actually went to that same place where the Wedding Crashers was actually filmed, and awful breakfast. Awful breakfast, very expensive. Owen Wilson from Zoolander, yes, one and the same Owen Wilson. So again, it seems like a lot of people are struggling with this. A lot of people are struggling, but I will be honest with you. Here's the thing. As I thought about it, and as you guys will probably think about it, Marvel is actually okay with doing the unexpected with either the stories that they're telling, the characters that they introduce, or the actors that they choose to work with in order to bring these characters to life. They do the unexpected. None of us saw the Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. None of us saw that, but now we can't unsee it. Right? I mean, think about it. He would have not been on anyone's fan cast list, yet he is the perfect Tony Stark. And so into someone's comment here, I am going to defer to the judgment of Kevin Feige and to the judgment of the various directors and writers that have, selected this guy and put him in the role and all of that kind of stuff. He may surprise us all. He may surprise us all. And if indeed he does, it will be the greatest feat that Owen Wilson has ever demonstrated on film. So, Owen, if you ever see this, I actually like you. I just struggle with you as Kang the Conqueror or a series character, but that's okay. That's okay. Prove me wrong, brother. What did he say? ICT Vinny says, I will be blown away if Owen Wilson could pull this off. Anybody who won Kirby cards, no, man, not one person has reported that they won a golden card, but I have had one person say that they do exist. They said that they have it. I didn't see a photo of it yet, but a person that has, got these cards back in the day actually has one of the gold cards. I personally have never seen them yet. So, Hugh Jackman was there you go. Great example. I mean, because Hugh Jackman is what, like 6'2"? Like 6'2", and Wolverine is nowhere near that height. So again, it's amazing what the right actor can actually do, So we will see. He could pull a Michael Keaton and own it. Hey, brother, I'm gonna be honest with you. No one should ever take my tongue-in-cheek commentary here as an indication that I want Owen to fail or that I don't want this movie to be good or this show to be good. That is never the case. My hope is that this dude rises to the occasion and crushes it, right? Because I think the idea is for Kang the Conqueror to appear in the Loki show and then actually potentially slide over into an actual movie. Because if you remember from a lot of the commentary that Kevin Feige has put out there, they are going to find a way to intertwine what actually happens in the streaming services with what actually happens on the big screen. So we could see characters moving back and forth, and maybe this is a sign of what is actually to come. So a lot of people have been like, who is the next big bad? It's been rumored to be a lot of people, including Kang the Conqueror. I want to say he was like the first one. I feel like he was like one of the first ones out the gate. Maybe Doctor Doom. Maybe it was like somewhere around Doctor Doom and Kang the Conqueror were like the 1-2. But again, the sign seems to point to Kang coming to the screen. So Avengers 8, I was online earlier today on the eBay machine. There's a whole lot of them out there, man, and many of them are very, very ugly. They are not expensive. Some of the lower grade, but they are kind of ugly. But I'm sure you guys will do your proper research and decide what you want to do before you just head over to eBay and plop down your hard-earned money. So there we go. They need a short Canadian for Wolverine. Man, if you believe the rumors, bro, they are talking about doing some Alpha Flight stuff. So Not only will they need a small Canadian to play Wolverine, they're going to need a tiny Canadian to actually play Puck. And I like that hairy little man. I have always liked Puck. I don't know why. Maybe it's because his name is Puck and he is small. But bring me some Puck. Bring the Puck on, the Vindicator, man. It's going to be awesome. It is going to be awesome. That's actually a better role. Derek, that is actually a better role. Maybe. He's a little old, if you will, to actually play Johnny, but I get where you're coming from. Just the humorous side and the playful side of Torch. I could see that. So I think that's a good pick. You guys, Jerry's like, I love some Alpha Flight. Who is this? Francis is like, Puck is awesome. He is indeed awesome, man. I'm telling you, the Puck is a cool character, man. He is a cool character. Clearly I am not alone in the Puck love up in here, man. Clearly I'm not alone. I will tell you, I also Chris is like, I'm in Canada. I see small, tiny Canadians all the time. I found a large stack of Alpha Flight #1. So bring it on, Marvel. Bring it on, MCU. I am all ready for you with my Alpha Flight #1 ready to go. Don't have Kang Conqueror, Avengers 8. Don't have that. But Alpha Flight 1, I am ready for you. So that was the first little bit of news that I wanted to kind of talk about that just a little bit. My boy Keanu, I saw a couple of people actually mention Keanu Reeves out there. So he too is in the news, and there have been rumors that have been going on for months about this guy trying to be Wolverine. And some people like that idea. Other people are like, no way, that will never ever happen. He's too old or too tall or whatever it happens to be. A lot of people have opinions about Keanu. And I actually had an opportunity to watch John Wick recently, and I was like, man, he plays a mighty fine John Wick, so, but I don't know. I don't know if he can play the ultimate Berserker. I don't know if he can do that. But here's the thing. This is what Keanu did. Maybe what he realized was that he was not going to get that role of Wolverine. And so he decided that he was going to create his own Berserker. This guy has actually written his own comic book. That is right. Keanu Reeves is now adding comic book writer, creator to his resume. It was announced, I think just recently, that he has written a comic book called Berserker. And it took me a couple of minutes to be able to figure out what BRZRKR actually means. And I stared at it for a little while, and I was like, I've got it. It is Berserker. And then I read the article, and like 12 lines down, it was like Berserker. So Keanu Reeves is writing a comic book called Berserker, and its main character, shocker, looks just like him. And here he is right here, looking mighty swole, kind of like a Wolverine, using the name Berserker. The iconic actor personality gets even more interesting, but passes on the chance to lobby for the role of the MCU Wolverine. I don't know about that because he's been lobbying for quite some time. But this comic is actually going to be coming out from Boom Studios. It is a 12-issue comic book called Berserker, and they actually included a couple of images here. I think you guys can see that. Yep, you guys can indeed. But again, that looks like Keanu, right? When you stare at that, you have seen that version of Keanu walk down a hall in John Wick. You've seen this kind of sullen look from him in various movies. I mean, look at it. You cannot unsee Keanu when you stare at these images that are flashing across your screen. So it's actually pretty interesting that, I'm not going to read the whole article. You guys can actually check this thing out, but there's a long article here, if you will, where this guy, I think it's actually, it's coming out in October from Boom Studios. And it's basically a guy that is, he's been alive for a very long period of time. and actually has been in lots of wars and lots of conflict, and in present day is actually doing work for the federal government, who is, using him to get some work done. And in exchange, they actually, keep his identity, his history a secret. They bury all of the secrets. So this is what Keanu is actually working on. And there were some questions here around, whether he would actually play this particular character if a movie gets made from it. And my guess is that it will. Says this character was born 80,000 years ago, half man. His father was a war god. And so it's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting here. And I can't remember who sent this thing to me, but they sent it to me, I think, shortly after it was published. And then I actually kind of sort of found it again this morning. It was like, oh, that was the article that someone sent over to me. So Keanu is definitely trying to make some magic happen. He is definitely trying to continue his career as an action star, right? And so I definitely applaud him for that. So I'm going to head over real quick to the chat to see what you guys are talking about. By the way, Brandon says, by the way, Old Guard was awesome. Yes, indeed it was, bro. Everybody that I have spoken with has enjoyed that show. And I don't know if it was because it was just truly good, because it was unexpected, because it was a fresh kind of take on things. I don't know, but I enjoyed it. And everyone I've spoken with has had nothing but great things to actually say about some of this stuff. So scrolling down through some of the comments here, Lee is in the house. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you, my friend. Scrolling down, how many cover variants do you think there will be for what? For Berserker? For Berserker, my guess is there won't be a ton. That's going to be my guess. But that I could be completely wrong, because it is Keanu. It is a comic that he's writing. It is Boom Studios. Boom Studios is making a lot of noise right now. Maybe I need a variant cover from Boom Studios featuring Keanu. Let me see what else you guys are talking about. What did I think of the Warrior Nun? I actually did not mind the Warrior Nun. I felt like it was a little bit of a slow burn, but once the Warrior Nun got going, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible. I did not enjoy it as much as Old Guard, but it was not terrible. And if you guys are really, truly, Vanessa, interested in my thoughts, if you watched last week's show, I actually spent a lot more time talking about Warrior Nun and what I thought about it, and kind of contrasted it to the Old Guard. But I don't know if I care for the end of it. I don't know if I care for I would have just preferred like an old fashioned stare down and like let that be the cliffhanger. But the way that it kind of wrapped up, I don't know about that. And I actually saw the last episode, the last part of the last episode after last week's show. So I didn't reflect that in last week's show, but I struggle with the ending just a little bit. I would have preferred a better ending. I don't know. I don't know about that one. I don't know. What is this? Ariel's like, OMG, Old Guard was amazing. Yes, indeed it was. What is this? The Berserker artist is the guy from the Red Lantern a few years back, says Peter. That's what's up. That's what's up. Wait a minute. There was a comment here that I wanted to read. It was actually up. Have I ever received a 9.9 or 10 back from CGC? No, I have not. Never. I always tell people the best way to get a 9.9 or a 10 is to buy one. That is my general feeling. If you want that type of grade, you should just buy one, because I've never seen it come back. I don't know if I've ever seen an unboxing of someone that has actually received one back. I know that they exist. I've held one. I think I gave away a 10 once. No, I gave away a 9.9 on the channel, I think, once upon a time. But I've never received one. I've never received one. And, again, I think that that's one of the good things, right? It's like a unicorn. It's like a unicorn that actually does exist in the right situation. So scrolling down through the comments here, Almighty Lager King is like, there will be 300 variants. Scrolling down through the comments here, Swoldier variant from, again, it's a perfect tie-in. It's a Berserker. We're soldiers. It's like perfect. It's just like the Gung Ho issue number 7 Regie collects Virgin variant. It's like a perfect tie-in, right? Certain things are supposed to happen. Old Guard was cool, very comic. It literally was like the comic book came to life. That's what Old Guard was. Here's the thing. I read the comic. I knew exactly what was going to happen. By and large, they took a couple of deviations, but I knew what was going to happen, and I still watched it, and I still enjoyed every single moment of it. So, Comic Tom brags about his variant. Reggie says, no, man, Comic Tom is doing this thing. He's doing this thing. I actually had an opportunity to chop it up just a little bit with Jim Mint. I think I mentioned that to you. Had an opportunity to talk with him, I want to say on Monday of this week. And then what was funny is that he actually mentioned me in his show with his wife, Fee. And it was funny. It was I used to watch Jim Mint long before I actually had my own channel. I used to watch Jim every single morning as I was having breakfast. There were a handful of guys that I used to watch, and I used to watch him. And I don't even collect statues. I mean, I have a couple, but I don't even collect statues. But I used to watch Jim. I don't even read Omnibus, and that's his thing. But I still used to watch him because he was entertaining. So here comes the boom. Scrolling down through some of the comments here, we're going to keep this thing moving forward because I definitely have a lot of things to get to. Keanu and his army of Gibbon, a la Stormtroopers, all named Martin. That's what's up. That's what's up. Well done. Highlight. There we go. Okay, I'm scrolling through. I'm trying to cover off on some of this stuff. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. You know, that was really my first time. I knew that Fee and he were doing a show, but it was my first time, honestly, like sitting down and watching it. And you guys have heard my thoughts on as to why I don't watch a lot of the more popular YouTubers, because that stuff seeps in. That stuff, and then we all end up sounding the same. But actually, I sat there and watched that one. And I definitely dug that. Definitely dug that. Scroll. B Francis, I see you. I see you, B Francis. All right. So there we go. There we go. All right. So we talked about Owen Wilson as Kang the Conqueror. We've spoken about Keanu Reeves and some of the stuff that he is actually doing. The next thing that I want to get to is my thoughts on giant size Magneto. I will tell you guys, I was thoroughly excited about giant size Magneto and have been since the very first time that I heard about it, which was around the time that I read Jonathan Hickman's, I can't remember what issue it was, might have been like X-Men 4 or something like that, when he wrote the potentially the most fantastic monologue, if you will, by a villain that I have ever read in a comic. It was fantastic. And once I saw how Jonathan wrote Magneto, and then I heard about giant size Magneto, I'm like, so you're going to give me a whole comic of this right here. And so you guys have heard some of this story already. You know, they juggled the release dates around, and then COVID hit and all that kind of stuff. And I finally had an opportunity to pick up giant size Magneto, and I was on my way to get it. I got a message, and it might have been Sully Two Kings. I can't remember. It was somebody hit me up. It might have been Sully Two Kings, and he was like, "Have you read it?" And I said, "No, sir, but I'm going to get it." And I went and got it. And I was sitting there, and then someone else sent me a message, and it was like, "Have you read it yet?" It wasn't the same person. It was a separate person. I said, "No, I have not. I have it, but I have not read it." Then I read it. And then I was somewhat disappointed. It was one of those things where the excitement of it, the possibility of it, outweighed the reality of it. It was not as bad as the Jean Grey, Emma Frost, or the Nightcrawler, but it was certainly not as good as I anticipated it being. The way that it was actually written was written in many ways to not tell you much of anything, but to sprinkle breadcrumbs out there for you to ponder and wonder about. And what I think that they're going to do is later on, they're going to make those things relevant. But at the moment, it's like a series of events and activities that transpire. And you're like, but why? But why? And I'm not going into detail on purpose because people may still read it, but it's like, well, why? And it isn't until, at some future date that they will actually reveal the details. And I think I think his name is Jordan White. I think Jordan White is the group editor for the X-Men titles. And I think that he basically alluded to that or stated that when we did a cover on this last week. So Let me pop to the chat real quick and see. Goose Fang, how you doing, brother? You have missed a lot. You have missed a lot, my friend. We have been just tearing it up in here. Scrolling through. Let me see. Okay. I think I'm caught up over there. All right, so let me share my screen with you. This one's going to be sort of brief because I've already given you most of my comments on this thing, but I did want to at least share this article. This was an article from Newsarama. I'm a big fan of Newsarama. I dig their channel, and the thing says Giant Size X-Men Magneto, a disappointing outing. Giant Size Magneto doesn't quite live up to its name, and the artwork was pretty interesting. It was pretty interesting, but there were certain moments like this scene that you're seeing here now where Magneto was just kind of standing around, like he was literally just standing there waiting for some things to happen. And it was like, dude, can we please see some action? Oh, I didn't see that. They actually rated this thing. They gave it a 6 out of 10. I did not see that until just that moment. Check that out. But I was expecting something much grander than what we actually received here. The artwork wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It was just kind of there. But, you know, I was expecting a lot more. I was expecting a lot more from this one. So I'm curious if you guys have read it. What did you think? Good, bad, indifferent? What did you guys think? I'm actually going to scroll over to the chat here and see if there's any comments here that I can focus on. 80 Page Magneto should have been 2019 Dallas Cowboys. Oh man, did you just compare it to the Dallas Cowboys? That is ungood. Giant Size Magneto is a big no right here. Let me see. It's worth it, says B. Francis. Maybe that was a continuation of another conversation. Maybe I missed on that one. Scrolling down. All right, so I think I got it all covered. Give us some action, says Jeffrey, brother. I mean, you know, there was a couple of pages of action in there, but it wasn't super exciting. Wasn't super exciting. It was definitely, as the article kind of talks about, definitely something that was geared towards the other character that was in here. It wasn't a true demonstration of the Master of Magnetism's powers, if you will. So it was definitely geared towards someone else. But again, it could be one of those things that makes sense to us a little bit later, and then later on we'll be like, oh, that was actually not a bad book, or oh, it set this up. Oh, now I get why they did that, this, that, or the other. So how is Giant Size Nightcrawler? I brought that one too. If I had to score them, I would say Giant Size Magneto, Nightcrawler, and then Jean Grey, Emma Frost, in that order. And honestly, I'll be completely honest with you. You can skip reading all three. Kimball, I'm gonna just be completely honest. I think you can skip all three and it might actually be okay. I mean, you already bought them, but you know what I mean. I mean, it was okay. It was okay, you know. Can we get an X-Men call back when they were just playing basketball and going to the beach for Man, I'm gonna be honest. Couple of those issues, man, where they were at the docks and they were just like swimming. I'm gonna be honest. I skipped a page or two. I skipped a page or two on some of that stuff, just being completely honest about it. There is some stuff where I'm like, that's a lot of talking about nothing. Let's just go ahead and skip that. Yes, Brandon, that is definitely the term. It is ungood. Ungood indeed. My man Sully Two Kings, did he just get here? You just missed your shout out, brother. Giant Size X-Men should have been X-Men number 4. I am a fan of the other characters. Well, as am I. As am I. I too am a fan of the other character that appeared. And again, I don't want to give it away for folks. So I definitely appreciate you phrasing that, Jeffrey, the way that you did. So a couple of things we've covered off on already. We're going to keep this thing moving forward. And I want to talk about this one. This is one that I'm kind of excited about. I'm going to be completely honest with you. And I'm excited about it because you guys know that I am a fan of the Wildcats created by Jim Lee back in the day. I have a couple of copies of the gold Jim Lee Wildcats issue number 1. I have the regular cover. I have the silver issue number 2, the white newsstand issue number 2. I am a fan of the Wildcats. I was watching the cartoon a couple of months ago. I didn't even know the cartoon existed. but I was watching the cartoon as soon as I figured it out. And someone also told me that there was a video game as well. I think somebody actually tagged me on Instagram on that one. But there is some news out there about the Wildcats, and people are starting to speculate that potentially we will see some magic be made with Wildcats #1. I think at this point, anything would be magical with that particular book because it's not a very expensive book. But the reason that folks are starting to speculate that there could be some magic here is because the Grifter is going to be making an appearance. I want to say in Batman issue 101. I think that's what it was. So Batman is about to face off with Wildcats Grifter. Yeah, and it was. It is Batman issue number 101, head to head with Wildcats resident gunslinger Grifter. And Grifter is actually going to be working for Lucius Fox, I do believe, as like a security consultant. And so this is actually pretty exciting, man. James is doing his thing, I think, with everything that he is doing over there with Batman and with the Joker War and all that kind of stuff. But again, we're going to see the Grifter show up in issue number 101 of the Batman. And again, people are asking some questions. And I think he actually did. The Grifter actually showed up as part of the New 52. I think he actually crossed over. This book also marks the first time since the New 52 that Wildstorm character will appear in the DC universe proper. I guess he actually crossed over as part of some activities that happened as part of the New 52. So I'm gonna be honest, this cover that they are showing here on screen, I don't know if you guys can see that very clearly. It is a nice cover featuring the Grifter and Batman. I am digging this. You can actually see his Wayne Enterprises security badge right there because he is a security consultant. This cover I don't care for so much, but the one up above is definitely my favorite. But it's going to be interesting, man. I am a fan of Grifter, fan of the Wildcats, so it's going to be really cool to actually see this one. And it's actually going to be dropping October 20th. So not that far away, Cold Cash will be appearing in Batman 101. And I'm definitely going to be picking up a copy of this one because I'm excited about that. So pop back over to the chat and see what you guys are talking about. Scrolling down, Joker War finale is going to have Pennywise, Ronald McDonald, and Joker. The Battle of the Matthew, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Right next to the shark repellent. That's old school, brother, right there. Picked up that New 52 Grifter series. It was, wow, that's not good. That's ungood. I think it was a Matina. I think it was indeed a Matina cover. It's a cool cover, man. I dig it. Any Matina covers, there you go, brother. There you go. There's confirmation right there. Scrolling up through the comments here. Yeah, I can see it now. Batman and Grifter, the boy. FaceTime, you, sir, are a nut. You, sir, are a nut. I have Wildcats 1 and 2 set aside for Jim Lee fan. Man, I'm telling you. Anthony says, I almost sold my Wildcats 1. Good thing that I didn't. Man, I'm telling you, it might actually be worth like $2 whole real soon. $2 whole is what we might be able to get. Anthony, I think you won last week's Go Collect giveaway, right? I think you won last week. Congrats, man. I think that was you. And if not, I definitely apologize. Sometimes the names and all that kind of stuff get jumbled up. Or maybe you won recently. Maybe it wasn't last week, but maybe it was recently. So scrolling through the comments here, at least Grifter is wearing a mask. I have all new masks because I am actually headed to CGC. I think many of you know that. In the morning, I am jumping on an early morning flight, and I'm actually going to be headed to CGC because I'm going to be spending a little bit of time with Chris Claremont. And again, I want to encourage you guys to stay tuned because I'm actually going to be showing you some books that I'm going to be hand delivering down to CGC. So I'm definitely excited about that. All right. So stay tuned. All right. With that said, I want to give you guys a preview some of the content that is going to be released from the channel over the course of this week. There's going to be 4 videos and 1 podcast, and then I may also be going live as well. So I don't really know what my schedule looks like. Honestly, for the next few days, I guess I'm gonna have a lot of free time because I'll be in a hotel. But I may do some live streams and things like that on the Twitch machine and possibly even on YouTube. We'll see. We'll see what kind of magic I can make. But I want to give you guys an idea of the videos that are going to be released from the channel over the course of this week. The videos are always released basically Monday through Thursday at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. But sometimes I release some bonus content and again, go live as well. So you definitely want to always stay tuned to the channel. So I will be digging in my shorts this week. And if you are new here in the room, digging in my shorts means that I'm going to be digging through short boxes of comics from a collection that I picked up not that long ago. It's a video series that I think is really fun. I think people enjoy when I dig in my shorts. So join me and we can basically dig together. I didn't make a promise. I did not make a promise, but a man of the cloth threw something out there for me that basically said if I found a copy of Ultimate Fallout in my digging of my shorts, that I was expected to do a new video on the Heralds of Galactus. I did indeed find a couple of copies of Ultimate Fallout. I did not find the first print, but I did find some awesome prints. And so as a result of that, I wanted to honor this request. Again, you don't double cross, if you will, a man of the cloth. So you follow through. So I'm going to be releasing a Heralds of Galactus video this week. I think it'll be a fun video. It'll be a little bit different from some of the others, but I think that you guys will enjoy it. So I definitely want to encourage you to check that out. I'm going to be doing an unboxing of a Netflix related series. And then I'm going to answer a question. And this is a question that I've received a lot, and I've received it a lot more as of late because of everything that is happening with Noel and also with Miles Morales. A lot of people have been asking me the question using different words, but essentially the question that they're asking is now the time to sail? Is now the time to sail whatever? Fill in the blank, right? Is now the time to sail Noel? Is now the time to sail Miles Morales? And in the video that will be coming out this week, I will attempt to answer those questions for people, to give them some guidance, some things to think about, some things to consider as they evaluate if now is the time to sell whatever it is that you're considering selling. So I think it's a good video. I really do. So I definitely want to encourage you to stay tuned for that one. So there was a long comment here from someone. William says, thanks for the tip, Reggie. I just bought 10 copies of Wildcats #1 for $10 and just doubled my money. You, sir, are very welcome. I'm going to tell you, man, Wildcats, man, I mean, maybe by the time my boy is an adult, it might be worth $5. It might be worth I love Jim Lee. I love the Wildcats, so it is just having a little bit of fun. But William, I don't know about William. William seemed to be pretty serious about it. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I definitely will be careful, brother. I have a couple of different mask options. There's, CGC has taken all types of precautions with, taking temperatures and things like that. And so, it'll be, keeping my head down the whole way, keeping my head down, keeping my hands and other things to myself. And I will tell you, I have been a germaphobe for many decades. I have not touched a door handle or a gas station pump or an ATM button in many years. I am a pro at not touching things or allowing people to get inside of my bubble. So I am very much at home. I am very much at home, but no, definitely going to take every single precaution. Scrolling down through some of the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. Okay, I think I'm all caught up with that. All right, cool. All right. Oh, so those are the 4 videos that are going to be coming up from the channel. I'm also going to be releasing one podcast. The podcast will be dropping Monday at 7 a.m. Pacific time. I think it's going to be a good podcast. So I definitely want to encourage you guys to check that out because it should be fun. All right. So with that, what is this? Connie says, my hubby was in the thick of things with COVID. Then it started to get better. Now he will be stepping into the thick of things in Florida. He just can't get away from it. Yeah, man. It's tough, man. It is definitely tough out there for a lot of people. I'm looking at Spawn 1 newsstand and Gold's Wildcats and thinking it's time to track down either rarer. Yeah, I mean, I think that that is not a bad way to go, right? So you can look for the newsstand Spawn 1, which we actually gave one away maybe a month ago. I don't know. We gave one away recently. Let's go with that. And then I also picked up 2 copies, maybe 3 copies of the Gold Wildcats issue number 1. And then I already had issue number 2, the silver cover, but there's also a white cover as well, which is a newsstand. It's just really cool. It's one I had never really seen before. And I want to say it was like Whitewell Comics that actually sold it to me or gave it to me. I can't recall, but there's a couple of those books out there that I think are special, if you will. So now could be the time. Now could be the time to actually check it out. Catherine, and I will sell you a Turok. Well done. Well done. All right. So let's go ahead and give away a really cool book. This is Thor number 134, the first appearance of the High Evolutionary. The phrase for this one was Herbert. I think it's like Herbert Wyndham something or another. It's like 3 names. That is the name of the High Evolutionary, but the phrase for this week to actually get into the contest was Herbert. I will remind everybody that you are only allowed 1 entry per person per household into the contest. There were a couple of people that had some errors this week and inadvertently or otherwise submitted 2 entries. And so I definitely want to continue to remind people we had a very long streak. I will tell you, we had a long streak where there was no mistakes at all. It was fantastic. And we had 2 today. So I definitely want to just give people reminders that if you have 2 people that watch the channel in the households, only one of you can enter, right? And certainly there is only 1 entry per person. So just kind of keep that in mind. Talk to your family. Talk to your family. All right. So let's go ahead and give away this really awesome book. And again, stay tuned because I'll be showing you the next book that we're going to be giving away this coming weekend. Then I'm also going to be showing you some books that I'm going to be taking down to CGC. So definitely stay tuned for some of that. And then if we have a little bit of time, we may even do some Q&A stuff. So again, get your questions ready. So let's go ahead and have me share my screen and I will actually show, we're actually going to roll the dice. We're going to mix it up just a little bit. We're actually going to roll the dice here real quick and kind of see what we come up with. So we rolled 11. We've rolled 11. 11 is today's number. And it's a very big number. All right. So we're going to head back over. We're going to share my screen again. And we're going to go to the list here. And we'll show you all the list as I always do. These are all the individuals that were able to successfully find the video in which I embedded the phrase. They were able to capture the phrase, which, as I mentioned, is Herbert. They were able to find the community tab and the link and head over to MailChimp and plug in that phrase of Herbert. So these are all the folks. And I think there's 314 of them, which is one of the larger things in the last few months, if memory serves. So we're going to go ahead and randomize this thing a total of 11 times. That is 1 right there. Yep, 312. That's 2. Scrolling down, that is 3. That is 4. 5. This is 6. And as a reminder, if you are watching me on a big screen TV or otherwise, make sure you tag me and post it up on the Instagram machine. And I think we did 11, right? Yeah. What is this? This is 8 right here. Scrolling down, that is 9. Here is 10. And the winner of this week's Go Collect giveaway book of Thor 134 is Turtles. Turtles, you, sir, ma'am, person are the winner of this week's, followed by Swifty1, Simon, T, the Cape Crusader, Jason, Jeff, Peter, Fun Cooker 1, and Comic Noob. Those are, Noob. So those are the top 10. Turtles, you are the winner of this week's Go Collect giveaway. Make sure you send me an email to Regie at regiecollects.com, providing me with all of your contact information, your screen name, your government name, your mailing address, and I will bundle this stuff up for you. I am leaving early tomorrow morning, so my hope is that, Turtle, you are here watching and can send me that email so that I can bundle your books up. I don't think either one of us wants to trust my wife with mailing your book. Teasing. I will actually, no matter what, I will bundle the book up and have it ready for the label. But my hope, honestly, is that if you're able to send me that information, I will bundle it up and label it and then get it out of here tomorrow so that you actually get it in a timely manner. And there can only be one. And as a reminder, if you have bought anything from my website, regiecollects.com this weekend, everything is packaged up. Everything will be mailed out probably tomorrow. The wife will take care of all that stuff for me. It will all get out of here. If there are things that you are interested in getting from the website, regiecollects.com, I definitely want to encourage you to head over there, buy it, and then I will bundle it up tonight, because otherwise there will be a little bit of a gap and a delay in my ability to ship, because I'll be traveling. I'll be traveling for a couple of days, and I think you guys get that, but I don't want to delay anything if I can help it. So I'll just put that out there for consideration. All right. So let's look at this next week's book. This is the book that is going to be given away. I actually have a copy of this book in the collection. It is a classic cover to me, and it is a battle between Hulk and the Thing. It is Fantastic Four issue number 112, and this is a 7.5 of this book. I dig this cover big time. Just a classic battle cover right here. I think there's also one of Submariner, and I want to say Thing battling. But this is a cool one. This is a very cool one right here. But this is going to be this week's Go Collect giveaway book. It is Fantastic Four number 112, 7.5, off-white to white pages. And it is a really, really nice cover. Black covers, as you guys know, are really tough, but that's it. All right. So I will show you guys the books that I'm actually going to be taking to CGC. But I also want to show you something else. Silver Age Surfer. Silver Age Surfer is a friend and fan, if you will, of the channel. And he likes to say thank you by sending me AOKs. And he is currently helping me with my Christmas video. I'm going to be doing a video for Christmas in which I'm actually going to be showing covers that are Christmas related covers, right? And so as I'm going through my 100K collection, I'm pulling those books, and he is supplementing those books, basically getting me ready for this video that I will be filming and releasing to you guys in December. But there was a box that came, and it was not a comic shaped box. And I was like, what is this from Silver Age Surfer? And I opened it up, and it is a Spider-Man shave kit. I don't know where he found this, but it is a Spider-Man shave kit that comes complete with Play shave cream, a Play razor. In it, there's a note here, contains no blades, and a shave brush. This is the play set that he sent me. My boy came in here and he said, Dad, what is that? I said, it's a shave kit. He said, for what? So I showed him and turned it around and showed him the little kid there. And he was very perplexed. He was very perplexed as to the point of this. But this is a really cool set. I wonder if there's still foam in this kit. I wonder if there's any foam that is actually in there. But Silver Age Surfer, brother, thank you very much for the shave kit. This thing is awesome. I wanted to show it because a lot of what else you're sending, I can't show until December. And so I at least wanted to show a little something. So we did a little Spider-Man. But that will also allow me to segue into the next thing that I'm going to be showing you guys. I'm actually going to be hand delivering some books down to CGC. And I am very comfortable with my packing skills as a person that mails comics to and fro, as a person that has created videos about this. I'm very comfortable with mailing comics, but there are some books that make me uncomfortable. And I'm also very comfortable with cleaning my own books, but there are some books I just don't feel comfortable cleaning. And so this is one of the books that I'm going to be hand delivering down to CGC. I had an epiphany earlier today. I was like, you know what? I'm actually going to take some stuff, and I'm going to start with this awesome book right here. This is Amazing Spider-Man #4. I picked this book up several months ago, and I absolutely love this cover right here. Love that cover. So I will be packing that very carefully in some things, and then putting it in my book bag, and then carrying it with me and attaching that book bag to my person. I'm also going to be taking this one right here. Issue #2, really cool cover right here. I will tell you, almost everything that I'm showing you here, well, technically 2 of these have been books that I've actually picked up in the wild. I picked both of these up in the wild personally. This last one was one that I actually bought offline. This is Amazing Spider-Man #1. So I'm finally going to encapsulate these books, and I'm actually going to have CGC work on these for me. I'm going to have them clean, press, and encapsulate. I think that all 3 of these books, especially the #1, needs a little love and attention. And so I'm going to defer to these guys to actually do some work on this comic to get it looking as good as it possibly can look before I hang it on my wall. So these are the 3 books that I'm going to be hand delivering down to CGC. Definitely excited about that. All right. So one of the other things that I alluded to is yes, I am going to be going down to see Chris Claremont, and I'm going to be spending some time with him. I think he was in Alabama recently. I think he put up a post on the Instagram machine saying that he was at Alabama. There was some con down there, and then he is working his way in some way, shape, or form. I don't know if it's by plane, train, or automobile to Florida, but he is en route. And so I've decided that I am going to try to take some books with me, though, to maybe get a signature from him, and to maybe even have them be slabbed again by CGC if I do indeed get the signature. So the two books that I am taking with me is X-Men #94. Just a fantastic story. Just a fantastic story with this book, and I am pumped about this one. I'm actually going to read this one again. I'll probably read this one again on the flight, digitally, of course. But this is where it all started. This is where it all started. So I'm definitely pumped about that. Maybe getting his signature on that, and actually talking with him and watching him sign my book in front of me. How cool is that? And then the other one is this one right here. This is X-Men #101. This is a book that I love. This book, I actually purchased this book, and the one thing that I dislike about this book is that wrap. That wrap just bothers me to no end, but it is a 9.4, so that's a little bit of my struggle. It is a cool book. I've had it for a while. It's a great grade, and again, with the signature from Chris, I may not mind that wrap after a while. I may not mind it at all. So those are the books that I'm actually going to be carrying with me down to CGC, attached to my person, but definitely pumped about this one. So let me head over back to the chat to see what you guys are talking about. ASM1 clean press and graded cost. I would say, yeah, you may want to go to the website and you can plug in some of that information. It'll give you that, because off the top of my head, I have no clue. I have no clue what that will actually talk about. That wrap kills me too, bro. It is. I've been tempted to sell the book. I've been tempted to buy another book. And again, it's just, I don't know, but maybe with Chris's signature, I'll just stare at that instead of all that white. But that is a book. This here is a book that is notorious for having a bad rap. For whatever reason, it is a notorious book for having a bad rap. So what is this? Regie, when you do get to Florida, I hope Chris Claremont is still not. If you notice, Chris Bigger, I did not bring that up, brother. I did not disclose any secrets that were revealed to me in offline conversations with subscribers of this channel. But now that you've mentioned it, I will not be mentioning you to Chris. I don't want any problems from you, my friend. Why 120? Why 120? Why 120, Kimball? You know, the thing is that the problem is that it's nothing to fix, because, well, it would be tough because one staple is basically on the side of the book. This one is a little on top of the book, but normally you won't be able to rotate it beyond the staples, right? So you can't pull the book back here, because then this staple that is basically on the spine would basically be on the back of the book, right? So there is no fixing the wrap. It is just a bad wrap. It's not a spine roll, it's just a bad wrap. And because of the staple placement, there's nothing that can be done. And again, came back at a 9.4 because I think they realized that they graded the book that was in front of them based upon what they were seeing and based upon the placement of the staples. It's not much that can be done. I mean, let's be honest. This staple, the top staple, is halfway down the book. That top staple is literally like half. I mean, the half of the book is like right here, and it is right there. I mean, it's all jacked up, just all jacked up. But scrolling through, seeing what else you guys are talking about. Hydra's like the pinch wrap. There you go, pinch wrap. There you go. So scrolling through, yeah, if it was a spine roll, it could be corrected, but it's not. It is just a miswrap, and there's absolutely nothing that can correct that. So what did we see? What is this? Super chat just came in from Pretty Fly Filipino guy. Shout out to a young hero. Budding comic geek. He protected his younger sister from a dog. Oh, I did see that. I saw that tidbit of news the other day. Yeah, man, that was brutal. And it's just one of those things, man. Your heart goes out to siblings. Your heart goes out to brothers that will step up, and step in between something like that. When I was coming up as a kid, my mother impressed upon me that it was my job to protect my little brother. It was my job. That is what I am supposed to do. And yeah, that was a very touching thing when I actually read that news article. And the boy, he's a little messed up. But I think it's one of those things, man, where he is probably very proud of himself for protecting his little sister against that dog. I didn't see what kind of dog it was, but doesn't matter, man. Doesn't matter. So let me I'm waiting for something. So I actually want to give a huge shout out to Renee and Duncan. I want to give a shout out to Renee and Duncan. There was something there from Pretty Fly, from a Filipino guy that triggered my memory there. And I'm not going to go into any kind of detail here. But there are a lot of things that happen to many of us in this world. And I don't know why those things that happen, why they occur. But my message to anyone that is going through a difficult time is to try to be optimistic and to focus on the positive things and to focus on the things that one can control, because there is so much that is out of our control. And there are a lot of people out there that are suffering right now. I have some friends that are in some very difficult situations. And so when I received a message from Renee about Duncan, it touched my heart. It touched my heart. And this message from Pretty Fly triggered that memory. And I wanted to at least take a moment to pause and to give that family a shout out and to say that I am thinking nothing but positive thoughts for you guys. And if there is anything that I can do, you reach out to me and I will do my best to make some magic happen. All right. So let me scroll down through the chat here. Well said, brother. Well said, my man. There you go. Well said, brother. All right. So I think I've covered off on everything, and I actually did it in pretty decent time. I mean, we're just a little over an hour time here. So I am going to wrap this thing up. I need to break down some equipment so that I can take a lot of this stuff with me as I head down to Florida. Rest assured, folks, that I'm going to take every precaution that I can possibly take as I venture down to the hotbed of Voldemort and hopefully experience what might be a once in a lifetime type of opportunity, and I have every belief that everything is going to be fine as I journey to and fro and return back safely to my family. But I do want to thank you guys for hanging out with me just a little bit on this Sunday night. I hope that you guys enjoyed the show. Again, shout out to It's a pretty fly for a Filipino guy for raising the flag on that heroic activity by that young brother protecting his sister. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you to all the Patreon members. We actually have had several new Patreon members actually sign up literally today. So I definitely want to thank all of you that have chosen to support the channel. I definitely appreciate you guys. And thanks to all the Patreon members that have continued to support the channel long term. I appreciate the exchanges that we get to have via the Patreon platform, and then also just the messages that you guys send me in the emails. I absolutely appreciate you guys. If anyone out there, Patreon member or not, if you need me, you reach out to me, and there's two ways that you can do it. The first and the preferred is on Instagram, because that allows me to reply back to you using video, using voice notes, using text. It's a much more convenient thing for me to be able to do. But that is Regie Collects. You can find me on Instagram. But if you need to send me an email, you can do that as well. And the email address is reggie@regiecollects.com. Again, huge shout out to Turtles for winning this week's Go Collect book. Make sure you send me an email to reggie@regiecollects.com. I'm going to bundle this up and ship it out to you. And again, everyone stay tuned for lots of activity this week. I think there's going to be a lot of activity that is going to happen this week. Live streams, videos dropping, me doing some social media stuff, if you will, for CGC. So I definitely want to encourage you guys to stay tuned to the interwebs for more to come. Take care.